While he was fighting the demon lord conjured a massive attack and said that it was the end for him. As the massive ball of flame flew toward him, Leon cast his own spell and froze the demon lord's attack completely. He told the demon king that he was the one who was going to decide the outcome of the battle. He slammed his foot on the ground, and ice spikes started appearing from the ground, one of which pierced the demon king straight through the skull. His body began disintegrating, but before he fully disappeared, the demon king told Leon not to dare think this was the end. Leon said that with the death of the demon lord, there were no more threats. Leon was praised as the great wizard who had defeated the demon lord Belfar and returned peace to the world, or so they thought. At the Tenor orphanage, where Leon was born and grew up, a royal carriage arrived to pick him up. A little girl called out to him as Big Brother while rushing toward him. She asked if he was going out again. Leon said that she was right and asked her to be a good kid while he was away. She promised to be good and asked him to teach her magic when he returned. At the royal castle, the king himself came down from his throne to greet Leon. The king said that he had been waiting for Leon. Leon greeted the king and asked if something was wrong. Just then, a lady arrived from the side and said that she hadn't seen him in a while. Leon said that he didn't know Princess Sarah was already back in the kingdom. The king said that he had called her over from the neighboring country. He said that he told her Leon would be coming to the castle, and she said that she would arrive immediately. The princess hid her face in embarrassment and told her father to stop. Leon asked why he had been called to the castle this time. The king said that the man standing next to him, who was called Shark, had seen a cave where monsters were still appearing. Leon said that shouldn't be possible since he had already killed the demon lord. The king said that he wanted to assign Leon to investigate the cave and that he had been hearing cases of those who entered it never returning. The king said that if Leon went himself, there would be no need to worry, since he was the one who killed the demon lord himself. Leon thought that this was true and that he had to eliminate anything that threatened the people's peace, especially for the future of the kids he called family. Leon said that he accepted the quest and asked the king to leave the investigation to him. The king said that they could start talking about his marriage with the princess once the investigation was over. The princess blushed once again while asking her father to stop teasing her. Leon just laughed nervously. Shark, who was listening to the whole conversation, let out an evil grin. The king said that Shark could guide Leon to the cave and asked Leon to stay in the castle for a night and head out the next morning. Leon agreed, and the princess wished him luck. The next day, as he was preparing the supplies for the investigation, Shark arrived while apologizing for being late. He said that he was pleased to work with Leon on this investigation. Leon said that it wasn't such a big deal and that he was also pleased to be working with Prince Shark. Shark guided Leon to a cave and said that the monsters were coming from within it. Leon said that he would be in the front and told him to follow with caution. While walking through the strange cave, Leon sensed a weird sensation and wondered if this was the reason people had been going missing in the cave. Leon said that Prince Shark should head back and leave the investigation to him, as things could get dangerous from that point on. Just then, Shark stabbed Leon from behind through his heart with a poisoned sword. Leon asked what Shark was doing. Shark said that this was his execution ground and that Leon was getting in his way by being too close to Princess Sarah. He said that he was the only one who could be next to her and that he had planned to make Leon disappear and stage it as an accident. Leon said that he was never interested in political power and that he was only doing his best for the kids from his orphanage. Shark started laughing. He said that those kids Leon deemed so important were no longer there. He threw something at Leon, a piece of the teddy bear the little girl from his orphanage was holding. Shark said that he had set fire to the orphanage in the middle of the night, saying that it would have been a hassle if there was someone who could carry out Leon's will. He asked if it wasn't good that all of them could now go to heaven together. Leon was filled with rage and jumped forward, but Shark kicked him off the ledge. While saying that the poison seemed to be working, he thanked Leon for his service. Leon braced for the fall, but nothing happened. He woke up in a small puddle of blue water. He remembered what Shark did and said that he would never forgive him. He dragged himself out of the puddle and decided to find a way out of the cave first. The cave was massive, and after a while of walking, he ran into some kind of monster, but it wasn't like anything he had seen before. Not taking any chances, he shot a fireball at it, annihilating it in a second. As soon as he killed it, he got a quest to kill 1,000,000 of them. He wondered what he was seeing, but he didn't have time to think as more of those monsters came after hearing the explosion. Every time he killed one, the number on the quest started going up. He decided to ignore the quest and try to find a way out first. After walking for a while, he ended up in a room filled with skeletons of all the people who had gone missing in the cave before him. They all had the same wound around their chest as he had. He crouched next to a skeleton and thought that he couldn't let himself end up like them. From that day, he repeatedly went through multiple explorations and battles throughout the cave system. Even after a year, he hadn't found the exit, though he had managed to kill 10,000 monsters. The only thing keeping him sane during the never-ending battles was the spirit of revenge he held against Shark. He lost track of time after a few years, and for every milestone he reached in the quest, he learned new magic. An attribute he didn't even know existed, called Dark, was given to him. He had no idea what it was or its effects, but then he realized that this new power would be useful against Shark during his revenge. After about 10 years or more, he managed to kill 1,000,000 monsters and finish the quest. He heard a faint voice begging him to defeat something, but he wasn't able to hear it properly. The gate in front of him finally started opening. He was blinded by the bright light shining through from the other side of the door. He asked what was happening, if he was even going to make it out to the surface. He woke up once again in a fountain, looking completely different. He looked around, and it looked nothing like the world he was from. He asked if this was heaven. Then someone asked if Leon was still conscious. He said that Leon was a pretty good punching bag while calling him Kiribane. Leon asked if they were calling him Kiribane. The bully asked why Leon was saying such weird things. He grabbed Leon's head and started pushing him underwater again while asking if he was still half asleep. Leon immediately cast his magic to save himself, blasting the whole fountain and throwing the bully back. He jumped out of the fountain. The bully asked if Leon actually used magic, but then said that there was no way. He told his friends that it was time to go. They ran away, while Leon wondered what was happening. He heard someone say that it was impressive he was able to release this much power even though his magic was suppressed. The voice was coming from a little glowing orb behind him. The orb flew away while saying that they should talk away from where people could find them. He followed the orb as it took him to a remote location. It said that no one should find them there for now and started glowing brighter, then turned into a little fairy, who immediately dived in to hug him, saying that she had wanted to meet him for so long. Leon pushed her away and asked what she was, and if she knew what was going on. The little fairy apologized for being rude and told him that her name was Luna, a messenger of the goddess. Leon asked what that meant. Luna told him that she was a guide for the dead. She told him that he had passed away when he was pushed into that cave, and that this was a different world from the one he was originally in. She said that he had taken over a body from a boy in this world thanks to the goddess's powers. After a while of explaining everything, she asked if he had calmed down a little now. Leon said that he had, but still found it hard to believe that this was real. Luna apologized and asked if she did a bad job explaining. Leon told her that it wasn't her fault and that he had organized the situation in his head now. He then asked why the goddess sent him to this world. She was about to answer as a door fell from the sky right in front of them. A massive, glowing green door. Luna asked him to follow her so that she could answer his question. Leon nodded and followed her inside. It was a completely different world, and there was a monster in front of him, a monster that was under the demon Lord Belfar, the Grandsaurus, a formidable enemy with a strong magical barrier. It had taken him more than 3 days of continuous fighting to beat it in his original world. Luna said that Leon could beat the monster with ease if he used his special magic. He remembered that he still hadn't used the dark attribute magic yet. As the monster ran straight toward him, he used the dark attribute magic, a skill called deprivation of blessings, making the monster's barrier shatter. Without the strong barrier, the monster was just like any other. Dark claws appeared from the ground and pierced the monster from all sides, killing it within a second. The monster fell to the ground and Luna celebrated, saying that she knew it would be easy for Leon. Leon thought that this dark attribute was way better than all the other magic he had. He examined the damage he caused on the monster. While Luna was still praising and celebrating, he looked back and asked if she had left out information on purpose. Luna apologized while laughing and said that she thought it would be easier for him to understand this way. Leon sighed and said that he did understand now, that the demon lord was coming to this world too. Luna said that he was right, and that the gate from earlier was also formed due to the effect of the demon lord. She said that if a gate was left, the world might end up being destroyed by the monsters within it. He asked if this was why he was assigned Luna as his guide into this world by the goddess. He then noticed something while he was thinking, a flag with a familiar crest embedded in it. It was the same crest that had been in Shark's hand. Leon wondered if Shark was in this world too. Luna noticed his hands clenched, but then she saw something behind Leon and disappeared. Leon heard a footstep behind him, and a girl called out to him. She asked if she could talk to him for a second. She asked if he had seen a gate appearing nearby. Luna whispered to Leon, telling him to just act like he didn't know anything to avoid trouble. Leon listened and told the girl that he didn't see anything. The girl said that she could have sworn she felt its presence here, but then she asked if Leon wasn't the guy who was tangled up with those delinquents earlier. Leon was about to say something, but the girl apologized for not being able to stop them in time. She said that she noticed it too late. Leon said that it wasn't something she should be apologizing for. He thought that the girl seemed quite upright and honest. She then said that she would head back to her dorms now that she had confirmed there was no gate here. Luna appeared just as the girl left, and said that the girl was quite amazing to be able to sense the gate's presence. She started blushing while saying that this development was just like in a game, where he raised her flag, and she was looking forward to further development. Leon said that he didn't get what she was saying. When Leon reached the dorms, he found many threatening, insulting, and demeaning letters taped to his door. He sighed and said that he got it now, that the girl from earlier was just a special case. Luna got angry and asked why they would write such vulgar things. She sat down on the desk while pouting, and Leon said that the original owner of the body must have had a pretty tough time. Leon said that he wanted to ask Luna something. He asked what was up with this school. He asked if the crest of the school wasn't the same as the one that Shark wore. He asked if Shark also came into this world with the Demon King. Luna said that she didn't know that either. She said that she had been peeking into this world to guide him. However, she wasn't able to see the prince at all. Leon said that he wanted to investigate it as well, but decided to ask her about how the academy worked and put the Shark matter on hold, but promised to never forget what Shark did. The next day, he put down the scissors he used to cut his hair short. Luna said that his new hairstyle looked really cool. Leon said that he should move around like the original owner of the body, Kiribane Rin, for the time being. Luna asked him to make sure to copy the way he speaks too, just as she taught him. Leon said that he would try his best before heading to class. There were only a few things he knew about this world. Several years ago, mysterious spaces called the gates started appearing, and at the same time, people who could use magic also started appearing. Many dangerous monsters had appeared from within these gates. The humans who killed the monsters while extracting valuable resources from within were called seekers, and the number of people aspiring to become one kept increasing. This school is said to train these seekers. Just then he heard a familiar voice from outside. It was the Academy's Student Council President, Mikoto, casting a spell. Leon saw the spell and thought that she was pretty good with magic. While walking through the hallway thinking about his next move, the bully from before called him and told him to run some errands for them. He told Leon that he felt like munching on some bread today. Leon asked if he should just go and eat some if he felt like it. The bully got angry and said that Leon had been acting all arrogant since the previous day. He started casting a spell and said that he would give Leon something to eat. Mikoto tried to stop him and said that it was forbidden to use magic within the school grounds. But he didn't listen and went through with the attack anyway. Leon said that it couldn't be helped. While using his dark attribute magic again, he cast a skill called Spell Eater. The bully's spell got eaten by the dark magic and disappeared. Both the bully and Mikoto wondered what had just happened. Leon just walked past them. Mikoto tried to talk to Leon, but he just left. After school, Leon got a letter from the bully again, asking him to come and see him in the training grounds. Luna said that Leon should just ignore the letter. Leon said that he had to deal with it now so that they would stop bothering him, as he didn't want such hindrances in the future. Luna started shadowboxing while saying that they should beat the bully up quickly. Leon reminded her to stay hidden. When he reached the training grounds, the bully said that he was surprised that Leon actually came. He asked how Leon managed to stop his attack earlier. Leon said that he didn't know what the bully was even talking about. The bully said that it didn't matter anyways. He said that they were going to have a one-on-one now, while signaling his underlings. He said that it was time for Leon to be taught a lesson since he had been acting up lately. Leon agreed and said that they would have to leave him alone if he won. The bully started laughing while saying how Leon managed to get so much confidence, since he used to tremble like a sick dog if the bully just pushed him a little before a few days. Leon told the bully to stop yapping and asked him to start the fight. The bully got furious and said that it couldn't be helped if Leon wanted to die so badly. He signaled his underlings again, and they both jumped at Leon from either side with attacks primed. The bully laughed and said that it was too bad that he lied about it being a one-on-one to make sure Leon didn't run until he was surrounded. Leon said that he expected as much. He put up his arms on both sides and used a skill called full counter to counter both attacks at once. Both the bully's underlings got hit with their own attack and were sent flying back. The bully couldn't believe his eyes. Leon said that he wouldn't make the same mistake twice. He said that he would never let himself fall for a sneak attack once again, and that he didn't plan on forgiving anyone who tried to do it either. The bully asked what was going on. He had only ever heard about the 4 magic attributes, and yet Leon was using some kind of different attribute. He started laughing nervously while asking how someone as useless as Leon could use magic. Leon asked what the bully meant by useless. Leon said that he couldn't believe that someone could look down on a human to this extent. The bully panicked and tried to use his fireball skill, but Leon appeared behind him and grabbed his shoulder, draining all his mana in an instant and making him lose consciousness and fall to the ground. Luna appeared and said that the ability to rob others of their mana was truly very annoying to deal with. Leon said that it had to be done so the bully wouldn't bother him again. Just then they heard sirens. It was an evacuation order. The student president announced that a gate had appeared within the academy grounds. She said that the threat level of the gate was evaluated as Category Red, which was the highest level. Immediately after the announcement, she burst out of the media room and told the students to avoid battles with monsters while evacuating into the city. She said that she would hold the monsters back while trying to seal the gate. A teacher asked her to stop. He said that the headmaster had specifically ordered that no one try to deal with a Category Red gate. He warned that if she failed the raid because of her recklessness, the academy would be held responsible. Mikoto reminded the teacher that the last time a Category Red appeared, the neighboring residents suffered huge damage. She reminded him that the reason they were in that academy was to train to deal with situations like this. She said that she would seal the gate and walked past the teacher. Monsters were already coming out from the gate and chasing the students. Some tried to fight back, but the monsters were far too strong for them. The monsters grouped up and jumped on a straggler, but they were hit with ice spikes from the side, fired by President Mikoto. The boy thanked her for saving him, and Mikoto told him to seek assistance from other students so they could help him get far away from the gate. She thought that the situation wasn't looking good, since there were still many students who hadn't evacuated. In addition to that, the area where the gate had appeared was rather close to the city, and her only option was to defeat the master of the gate and shut it. Leon and Luna appeared nearby and caught a glimpse of Mikoto walking inside it. Leon asked what they were supposed to do in order to close the gate. Luna told him that they had to defeat the monster that controlled the gate, also known as the boss monster. Leon said that they should act quickly. Luna told him that even though his dark attribute was strong, it consumed a lot of mana. Leon stopped her and said that he wasn't going into the gate because he wanted to save these people or anything. Luna went quiet but still looked worried. He said that he couldn't just ignore a threat that he knew could be devastating. Luna smiled and nodded. The two of them then made their way inside the gate. Inside, Mikoto had just finished dealing with the lesser monsters around the entrance, already looking tired and thinking that the monsters of Category Red weren't easy at all. Just then, a snake sneaked up behind her, and she noticed it just as it was about to attack. Leon used his dark claws to easily deal with it. When Mikoto opened her eyes, the snake fell dead in front of her, and Leon was standing far away, right by the entrance. Mikoto asks if he wasn't Kiribane and thanks him for saving her from that monster. Luna says that she was glad Leon made it in time. Leon says that it wasn't a big deal and that he was just glad she was okay. Mikoto then asks what kind of magic Leon just used, as she had never seen anything like that before. Leon turns around and says that rather than talking about magic, they should prioritize closing the gate first. Mikoto had almost forgotten why she came in for a second. She agrees and says that they should get moving. While looking back at the monster's corpse, she remembers that she had heard about Leon from the other students. Even during the mock battles in the academy, he was always in last place. She was sure this was him, but somehow, he was able to use such powerful magic. While running through the gate searching for the boss, they come across another group of monsters. Makoto uses a skill called Aqua Prison to drown all the monsters together while they continue running. Luna says that Makoto is certainly strong. Leon agrees and says that it was to be expected of someone evaluated to be at the top of the academy. The ground in front of them suddenly bursts open, and a golem jumps out, smashing its hand where Leon was just standing. Leon manages to jump back in time and casts a magic bullet straight through the golem's face. The golem starts disappearing after the core behind its eyes is destroyed. Makoto wonders how he knew where the core was located so fast, and how he was using this unique, unheard-of magic with such fast activation and perfect accuracy. She says that he seems more like a veteran mage who's been fighting for decades. They see a large opening at the end of the narrow tunnel. Leon tells Makoto to get ready as they make their way inside, where they find a lava dragon waiting for them, a highly dangerous monster even mentioned in their textbooks. Leon tells Makoto to be careful, explaining that it will alternate between fire and tail attacks while maintaining range. Just as he says that, the dragon prepares its fire attack and shoots straight at them. Makoto dodges, but the tail attack follows immediately after. She jumps back thanks to Leon's advice and prepares her own spell. She shoots an ice lance at the dragon, but it simply bites through it, shattering it to pieces. Her ice attack was meant to be highly effective against fire attributes, but the dragon overpowered it easily. Leon appears next to the dragon without catching its attention and uses his claw attack. The dragon quickly bursts its wings downward to take off before it could be caught in the claws. Luna complains that flying was cheating. Makoto says that she wasn't expecting it to react that quickly. Leon asks if Makoto can use magic other than ice and water, and she says that she can. Leon asks her to slow the dragon down, even just for a second. Makoto nods and begins using wind attribute magic. She aims at the dragon and shoots, distorting the air around it so it can't fly away. Luna says that the dragon is now immobile and tells Leon to take the chance. Hundreds of butterflies start flying toward the dragon from the spell Leon cast, surrounding it completely. He snaps his fingers, and they all explode at once. The dragon falls to the ground, defeated. Luna starts celebrating another victory. Makoto says that they won. She has a lot of questions, but for now, she admits that it was an amazing battle. Leon says that it was only possible thanks to her. As soon as they walk out of the gate, it disappears along with the monsters around the area. Just then, someone shouts Makoto's name from behind and demands to know why she blatantly disregarded his orders. It was the Academy Headmaster. Leon asked Luna if she knew who this man was. Luna told him that this was the Academy Headmaster, Shido Atsushi, the founder of the Sacred Imperial Academy that trains mages. He was someone who built a fortune by establishing the academy. Leon thought that if this man was really the headmaster, then he should be connected to Shark somehow, seeing how the logo on the academy was the same one that Shark had, but it was still too early to jump to conclusions. Makoto walked forward and apologized for defying orders, but she said that she couldn't just watch people be in danger. The headmaster said that she couldn't use her sense of justice as an excuse to get out of everything. He asked what she would have done if she had failed to handle the gate. Leon chipped in and asked if the headmaster didn't have better words to describe courage and resolve. The headmaster asked who Leon was and said outsiders had no right to speak in this matter. Makoto said that Leon wasn't an outsider, that he was the reason they were able to close the category red in the first place. The headmaster asked what she meant, and immediately started laughing after taking a closer look at Leon's face. He asked if Leon wasn't the lowest-ranked student in the academy. While heading back to his car, he told Makoto to stop making up ridiculous stories. Makoto tried to tell him that she wasn't lying. The headmaster said she expected her to believe that the most incompetent student in the school managed to close a category red gate. He asked her to stop being absurd and told her to deal with the aftermath herself, since she seemed to have time for such jokes. He left in his car after that. Leon decided that he should definitely look into the headmaster to see whether he had ties with Shark or not. Later that night, when they went back to their dorms, Luna plopped onto the bed and called it an eventful day. She started grinding her teeth while saying that she couldn't forgive the headmaster for acting all high and mighty. Leon said that it seemed like everyone in the school had similar views about Kiribane Ren. Luna said that Makoto truly was the only special one. Leon started reading through a notebook and Luna asked what he was doing. Leon told her that he was going through Kiribane's diary. On the day he entered Kiribane's body while he was unconscious, it seemed like the original owner was mentally completely exhausted. Luna got curious and took a peek. Kiribane wrote that he was at his limits, that he wanted to become a seeker to earn money for his little sister's medical expenses, but it seemed like he had no talent for magic at all. He said that he was looked down on and oppressed, that he had to endure violence, and that every single day was hell, that it was just too frustrating. Leon spotted tear marks on the pages as he read what Kiribane was going through. He just stood up and walked to the window without saying a word. Luna asked if Leon was all right. Leon said that he had to show these people what they deserved. Meanwhile, the headmaster went through Leon's profile and asked if a failure like Leon really dared to criticize him. He said that it was displeasing. While lighting a cigar, he asked if Leon had forgotten that he could expel him from the school anytime he wanted. Makoto, while taking a shower, wondered how someone who was supposed to be the lowest ranked in the academy was able to use such powerful magic skills. She thought that there were many things that were wrong and that she should try to get to the bottom of it as soon as possible. The next day, while Leon was walking to his class, he was stopped by the vice president of the student council, Shuya. He said that he heard about Leon and President Makoto coming out from the gate the previous day. He asked if Leon was planning on taking advantage of the situation and looting as many resources as he could inside the gate. He said that a guy with no abilities like Leon should stop causing trouble for the president. Luna asked what was up with the nasty-mouthed Four Eyes. Leon said that he was just trying to block the gate. Shuya said that Leon hadn't even won a single mock battle in school, yet to be able to fight monsters, and that even his eyes weren't blind enough to believe such words. Just then Makoto arrived behind him and said that she was looking for Leon. Shuya turned around and left while telling Leon to stay out of the student council's way and let them handle it. He told Makoto that he would see her later in the council meeting that afternoon. Makoto asked Leon if Shuya said anything to him. Leon said that it wasn't anything important and asked why she was looking for him. She told him that the headmaster had called for him. As soon as they entered the headmaster's office, he ordered Leon to drop out of the school. Makoto protested and asked what that was supposed to mean. The headmaster said that it was simple. He threw a piece of paper at them and said that Leon's practical scores were the lowest in the academy and that he hadn't even won a single mock battle since his enrollment. He said that a student with no talent in magic had no future in the academy, that he was practically being merciful. Leon picked up his profile and asked if all he needed to do was prove his strength. He asked if the headmaster would rescind the order for his expulsion if he won every single one of the mock battles scheduled for the end of the month. The headmaster asked what Leon was saying, then looked at the list of names planned for the mock battles. Leon was set to fight the vice president Shuya. The headmaster laughed and said that he would accept Leon's reckless proposal out of pity. Leon smirked. At his dorm room, Leon looked at the mock battle schedule. While leaving the headmaster's office earlier, Makoto had asked him to take back what he said to the headmaster. She told him that the headmaster couldn't just expel him because of poor grades, but this bet he made would force him to accept expulsion if he lost. Makoto said that while she knew Leon had amazing skills, the vice president Shuya was also a highly skilled mage. Leon thanked her for worrying about him. He said that if he could make the headmaster rescind the expulsion order just by winning a few mock fights, then it was a small price to pay. He told her that he had already decided to show everyone what he was truly capable of. Luna asked if it wasn't actually a good thing if he didn't have to attend school anymore. Leon disagreed, saying that to step on Shark's tail, it was more convenient for him to stay in the academy. He was sure that there was some kind of connection between Shark and the headmaster, or perhaps Shark himself was possessing the headmaster. Luna said she didn't think so, explaining that she could sense if there was a being from another world nearby. Leon admitted that the air around them didn't feel the same, and said that they just had to keep clearing as many gates as possible while chasing after Belfar and Shark. Luna looked a little worried, and Leon asked if everything was all right. Luna said that although this was an order from the goddess, she still felt guilty for having Leon bear such a heavy burden. Leon told her not to be like that, saying he actually felt grateful. When Luna asked what he meant, Leon explained that he was supposed to be dead, but was given a second chance, both to take revenge on Shark and to defeat Belfar, who was a threat to this world as well. He said he was ready to follow the goddess's will to show his gratitude, and that Luna had no reason to feel guilty or apologize to him. Luna thought to herself that Leon was still the same as before and that she was glad he was the one chosen by the goddess. Leon then said that he should rest up for the mock battles the next day. Luna nodded, saying they should show that tyrannical Headmaster what Leon was truly made of. She hoped his wish would come true. The next day at the sports field, the mock battles began. Leon's first opponent, who was ranked 23rd in the academy, started laughing and said he got lucky being matched against a loser like Leon. The spectators also laughed at Leon. He just sighed as the battle began. His opponent declared that he would end the fight with one attack and shot a wind charge at Leon. After the smoke cleared, the opponent asked if he had overdone it and blown Leon away. But Leon was already behind him. He cast a spell and slammed him with an earth attribute attack. The referee, confused but shocked, declared Leon the winner. The students couldn't believe what they just saw. They whispered about how fast Leon had dodged a wind spell and how insane his magic activation speed was. Luna smirked, saying Leon didn't even have to use his dark attribute. She understood that his opponent was far too weak for Leon to lose anyway. She said she'd enjoy seeing everyone realize how powerful Leon truly was. Leon defeated his next opponents with a single rock bullet as soon as each battle began. His third opponent was no different. The headmaster, watching the results, was getting restless. He asked himself how an incompetent kid who hadn't won a single match until now was suddenly winning every fight one after another. He thought there must be some sort of mistake. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Vice President Shuya entered the room. The headmaster asked if Shuya was aware that he would be facing Leon in a mock battle. Shuya said he knew. The headmaster told him to fight at full strength and said he wouldn't accept failure. Shuya smirked and replied that he didn't need such warnings against a nobody like Leon. He said he had already studied all of Leon's attacks so far, and they were all Earth attribute magic. Even though Leon might have managed to beat the weaker students, Shuya said he was still no match for him. The headmaster relaxed, saying he understood and that he'd worried for nothing. After leaving the office, Shuya wondered why the headmaster was being so cautious of Leon. The difference in skill between them should have been obvious. Meanwhile, Leon won another match. The students murmured, wondering what had happened to him, how he had changed so much. Mikoto handed him a bottle of water and said things seemed to be going smoothly. She told him that he only needed to hold out one more day before the headmaster would rescind the expulsion order. Leon said that all he had to do was win his remaining battle. His fight with Shuya was scheduled as the final one of the day. Shuya told Leon not to get cocky just because he'd beaten a few nobodies. Leon calmly said he wasn't feeling cocky. His goal was just to win. Shuya smirked and asked if Leon planned to win against him too. Leon replied, "Why would I even fight if I didn't intend to win?" Shuya scoffed, saying Leon had some courage, but he'd make him regret that decision. Everyone eagerly waited for the match to begin as the two of them took their positions. As soon as the fight begins, Shuya starts casting his magic while thinking that something about Leon wasn't sitting right with him. How could someone from the bottom ranks suddenly go through awakening? He thought. He wonders if Leon planned to hide his abilities and then suddenly draw attention by racking up consecutive wins. Shuya thinks that he should tear off this mask of Leon's. He uses a high-ranking wind skill called Lightning Shot and fires 3 arrows at once at Leon. Leon quickly crouches down and uses earth magic to create a clay wall in front of him. Shuya's attack hits the massive clay wall and gets stopped. Shuya wonders how Leon managed to block a high-level skill with a normal one. He thinks he should have had the advantage due to his superior activation time. The students gasp, seeing Leon block the vice president's attack. Shuya calms himself down by thinking that Leon could only use earth magic, so he still has the advantage. He uses earth magic himself to create rubble above Leon and hurls it down toward him. Leon uses wind magic to clear the attack away. Shuya wonders what just happened. He thought he had Leon read, but Leon just used a magic he didn't even know Leon possessed. Some students now start cheering for Leon. Some still couldn't believe what was happening. Mikoto thinks that this reaction was expected, as only a few wizards were able to use multiple attributes, and that was because it took a long time to master even one. To be this proficient wasn't normal. She thinks that he was truly incomprehensible because she knew that these attributes weren't even his main ones. Shuya says that Leon shouldn't be able to use anything other than Earth attribute. Leon asks if Shuya was still looking down on him. Shuya asks what he means. Leon says that Shuya was just jumping to conclusions, arrogant and careless. Leon admits that Shuya was a little good at magic, but his attributes were far from mastered. He says that Shuya's magic was still half-baked. Shuya clenches his fists and says that Leon was the one getting ahead of himself. He says that he only acknowledges those who are truly capable, and in this school, there was only one person he acknowledged, President Makoto. He says that he had been trying to get as close to her as he could, to become someone worthy of standing by her side. He says that he will reach the peak of magic and tells Leon not to even think for a second that he's equal to him. He starts using high-rank water attribute magic, and the students say that this was his specialty. He says that this was the end for Leon as he casts the spell. Ice starts engulfing Leon from the ground, and he gets completely encased inside. Shuya thinks that neither wind nor earth magic could block his ice spell. He believes his victory is guaranteed, but then he sees fire within the ice. In front of his eyes, the ice prison starts cracking and breaks apart because of Leon's fire magic. Shuya thinks that it shouldn't be possible for someone like Leon to have 3 attributes. Leon says that he wasn't limited to 3 either. He creates a huge ice ball above Shuya and shatters it, forming hundreds of icicles that fall all around Shuya with incredible speed. Shuya asks how Leon is able to use 4 attributes. The ice attack starts freezing his body in place. He falls to his knees and gives up. Leon walks up to him and gives him advice. He says that Shuya could never reach the peak of magic the way he is right now, that even if he tried his absolute best, there were many things beyond his reach. Shuya was about to say something, but he falls unconscious before he could. Leon says that even he, someone who had reached the pinnacle of magic, had many things he couldn't control, remembering the kids from the orphanage he failed to protect. He's announced as the winner as he walks away from the field. Later that day, the headmaster slams his fist on the desk, shouting that this was impossible. He asks how an incompetent man could use 4 attributes. He remembers Makoto saying that Leon was the one who closed the Category Red gate, but he still didn't want to believe it. He gets off his chair and starts dialing someone on his phone while cursing Leon, saying that he will definitely have Leon expelled. Meanwhile, in Leon's dorm room, while Luna was sleeping, Leon was preparing for his next move. He had managed to escape expulsion this time, but he knew the headmaster wasn't going to let it slide. He had written down everything he knew in a book. He wanted to probe the headmaster for more information, but since the headmaster was set to leave on a business trip, the only thing Leon could prioritize now was the appearance of the gates. If he blocked these gates, he might be able to lure those connected to Belfer out of hiding. He wondered who he would end up catching in this world. The next day in class, as the teacher walked in, Leon felt a familiar presence. A new teacher introduced himself as Keisuke. He said that he was appointed to be in charge of the class from then on. He admitted that it might come as sudden news, but asked everyone to understand. Leon thought that there was definitely something off about him. At the cafeteria, the students were still talking about the mock battles, about how Leon completely overpowered the Academy's rank 2. Leon tried to stay away from them, but someone asked if they could sit in front of him. It was President Makoto. She said that he did really well during the mock battles, and that it was a spectacular fight. Leon thanked her. Makoto said that she should be the one thanking him for what he did for Shuya. She said that even though Shuya had been frustrated, he seemed to have taken Leon's words to heart. Leon said that he didn't even say anything special. Makoto then said that she still couldn't forgive what the headmaster did, that his attitude was far too unreasonable. Leon asked if the headmaster was always like that. Makoto told him that the headmaster was a former seeker and that recently there had been rumors about him having shady connections. Leon asked if she could elaborate on that, but just then, there was a news announcement. There had been an influx of gates recently, though they were lucky since all of them had closed pretty quickly. They warned people who couldn't use magic not to approach the gates under any circumstances. Leon remembered what Luna told him about what would happen if these gates weren't closed. He thought that he would never let the monsters have their way. Leon then asked Makoto for a favor. Makoto asked what he wanted. Leon told her something to look into for him. Later that night, he went out with Luna to patrol and see if any gates appeared nearby. Luna said that Leon had been closing all the gates as soon as they appeared, and that the fact he was doing all this in secret was really cool. Luna then sensed a gate forming nearby and guided Leon toward it. It was a category green this time. Leon quickly went inside without wasting any time. The location inside the gate was a dead forest. Luna told him to stay cautious since they couldn't see well. After hunting a bunch of monsters, they made their way into the deepest area of the forest. Luna said that there was nothing there. Just then, Leon noticed something behind them. Something grabbed Luna's shoulder and flew away, taking her with it. The gremlin tried to eat her, and Luna started screaming out of fear. She squirmed and shouted that she wasn't meant to be eaten. Leon told her to stop moving while using his dark attribute. Dark claws appeared from the trees around the gremlin. It tried to fly away, but it got caught. The claws dug into the monster and killed it instantly. Luna flew straight to Leon, hugging him and thanking him for saving her. She said she thought she was a goner, but thanks to his fast activation, she managed to survive. Leon said that it was because of how many times he had been ambushed in the depths of hell, that by now, he could instinctively react almost instantly. Luna started giggling, saying that she should have expected that. They easily closed the gate after that, and Luna said that it was pretty fast. Leon said he was glad they could stop it before it caused any damage. He was about to say something to Luna when someone suddenly shot rock bullets at him. Leon reacted quickly and jumped away, looking toward where the attack came from. He saw a man standing on top of a building. The man asked how Leon managed to sense the attack. He said it seemed like he could look forward to this hunt. It appeared to be the same teacher who had just joined the academy. Leon tells Luna to quickly hide herself. As she disappears, Leon asks who the attacker was and why he attacked them. The teacher says that he had no reason to answer Leon's questions. He attacks Leon once again with multiple fireballs. Leon quickly jumps away. The man says that it was useless to dodge. He changes the trajectory of the fireballs to go straight to Leon once again. He says that it was over for Leon. Leon uses the dark magic skill, Grim Ether, to absorb all the fireballs. The man asks what Leon just did and what kind of magic he just used. Leon thinks that he can't let a threat like this run away and immediately counterattacks with the deadly claws. But the man somehow escapes, not without an injury though. He quickly throws a smoke bomb and disappears. Luna appears once again and asks if Leon was alright. Leon says that he was alright, but the attacker managed to run away. Later, Luna asks if Leon had any idea who the attacker was. Leon says that it was still too early to tell. But he says that he managed to confirm the attacker's moves, and that there was a chance that the attacker was connected to someone at the academy. He swears to catch them and wring every last bit of information out of them. And long behold, the next day the new teacher was using a different arm to write, confirming his suspicion. Leon observes him carefully without causing any scene, and later when he was going out, the teacher approaches him saying that he had heard a lot about Leon and how he closed a category red by himself. Leon says that he wasn't alone and that he did it with Mikoto. The teacher says that he believes that Leon did it himself and that he saw how Leon fought during the mock battle. He says that he will be looking forward to how Leon performs in the future as well before leaving. Later at night, when Leon was about to go clear another gate, the teacher promises to pay Leon back for the wound Leon gave him the last time. He says that he had let his guard down the previous day and that he wouldn't make the same mistake twice. He says that he has prepared thoroughly this time. Leon comes out of the gate within a minute after clearing it. The teacher wonders how Leon managed to clear the gates so fast, but then he decides that it doesn't matter and orders someone to take action. A bunch of masked men surround Leon and all attack him simultaneously, not giving him time to react. The teacher laughs loudly, saying that this mission was just as easy as the others. He starts leaving while ordering his underlings to check the body just in case. Just then, his men start shouting through the radio. He quickly goes back to see what happened. He says that there should be no way for Leon to survive the explosion. He tries to calm himself down, thinking that Leon was still unaware of him. Leon asks if the man was done playing games yet. The teacher asks how Leon knew where he was. Leon says that the man wasn't the only one with friends. He says that he had his friend look for anything suspicious long in advance. He quickly casts a wind spell to tear apart the man's mask. Leon says that his suspicions were right after all. The teacher asks how Leon knew. Leon says that he noticed the teacher using a different arm to write in class today. He figured that it was because of the injury sustained on the right arm during the first battle. And after he had Mikoto do a background check on the teacher, he found out that the teacher was a former seeker. He says that he also found out that the homing magic attack he used the previous day was his specialty. Leon asks if Keisuke has the resolve to fight now, or if he was going to try and run once again. Leon says that he will make Keisuke talk about why he attacked him. Keisuke starts laughing. He says that it was impressive that Leon managed to figure out his identity, but to him, Leon was still just a student. He tells Leon not to get ahead of himself while casting a massive fireball and simultaneously creating a wall of rocks behind Leon to block his escape. Keisuke says that he has slaughtered over 1,000 monsters using this magic, and that Leon should consider himself fortunate to witness it. He shoots the fireball at Leon. Leon says that he knows his magic quite well and starts casting the same fire magic. Keisuke says that there's no way, but Leon shoots his own fireball at Keisuke's. Keisuke says that it should be impossible for Leon to use the highest tier of fire attribute magic. Leon asks what Keisuke was even spouting, saying that to him. This was just intermediate magic. Keisuke starts going crazy and tells Leon to stop saying nonsense. Leon then asks why Keisuke would boast about killing just 1,000 monsters when he was standing in front of someone who had killed over 1,000,000. Leon appears in front of Keisuke, grabs him by the neck, and starts draining his mana. Keisuke isn't even able to break free, and slowly, his body stops moving. Luna says that Leon did a great job, but Leon says that it isn't over yet. He crouches in front of Keisuke and asks who gave him the order, if it was the headmaster. Keisuke looks away, confirming that it was indeed the headmaster. Keisuke says that he was only following instructions and that he was told to get rid of everyone trying to close the gates. If they were preventing people from closing the gates, it probably meant that the headmaster was under Belfar's control. But then, why would he create an institute that trains wizards? There were still uncertainties, but one thing was sure. The headmaster was definitely involved. Leon knew that if he handed Keisuke over to the headmaster, the man would act like he didn't know anything. So Leon decided to tie Keisuke up. He thought that the headmaster would start acting more rashly with his next move now, which was just what Leon wanted. He swore to expose the one behind all this. Meanwhile, the headmaster arrived at the supposed business meeting spot. He walked up to the mansion and said that he had arrived. No one replied, so he walked in, thinking that he could never get used to the atmosphere, no matter how many times he came there. He knocked on the door at the end of the hallway, and a voice told him to enter. The headmaster apologized for being late. A blond man sipping wine asked him to give his report. After hearing the whole report, the blond man asked if there were any other changes he should be aware of. The headmaster remembered Leon and said that there was one student who had suddenly started showing results, as if he had become a completely different person. Furthermore, he seemed to be able to use 4 attributes. This seemed to pique the blond man's interest. The headmaster said that there was no need to worry because he had already sent an assassin to dispose of Leon. The blond man cut him off and said that he would like to hear more about this. He said that Leon sounded like a very interesting subject.